Thanks for the support as a channel member, a Jelly Snake Rebel. You know, when I was talking about there being 3 automatic promotion spots, we just have to stay in one of those. Promotion's going to be easy this year. We're not in the top 3 anymore. That needs fixing today. Hello and welcome to part 88 of Bourne in the USA. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have 2 games for you. One in the league away against Kansas City Academy, and then I'm going to show you a cup game. We don't do this very often. By that, I mean we don't qualify. We don't show you cup games very often. We also don't very often make it through to the first round of the US Open Cup. It's been a while, and I'm trying to force the game into giving me a cup run this year. We're playing Sonoma County, who are down in the Western Premier League. It should be a comfortable win, and fingers crossed, the start of a cup run, because we've never really had one. Our history in the US Open Cup has been awful. Bearing in mind, when I do English Road to Glories, the FA Cup usually provides us with important funds throughout the save. I think this is one of the reasons why we've struggled so much for money, because we've never really made it very far at all in the American equivalent of the FA Cup. We need a run to like the 3rd round or something this year, because there is money in this competition. We just need to collect some of it. Let's have a look at what the prize money is. So let's see if we make it through to the 3rd round. The winner in the 3rd round is getting £80,000. We're almost £500,000 in debt. But a win in the first round is worth 20 grand. Second round, so that's getting up to 50 or 60. If we can win all the way through to the 3rd round, that's like £150,000 plus the gate receipts we'd pick up along the way. We need a cup run. So let's try and get one going this season. Since you were last with me, this is what's gone on. And we've actually been playing pretty well in League 2. The only problem is, so have the other 3 teams vying for those automatic promotion spots, one of which is Carolina, who beat us at our place in the last match before the camera started rolling. So this is what the league table looks like after 16 games. Portland 2, Carolina, and the DC United Academy all joint first on 38 points. They've also all got very similar goal differences, as have we. We're in 4th, 3 points behind them, similar goal difference to the rest of them. And then there's the others. Tormentor are only 1 point behind, but well back on goal difference. And then you start getting big gaps emerging. We're certainly, I think I'm confident enough to say right now, we're at least going to get the playoffs this year. But as we know, we don't want to do the playoffs because we're never going to win a playoff in this save. So we need to get ourselves back up into that top 3. And the way we start doing that is by winning football matches, which is what we're going to try and do now. We've got Walker in goal, a back four of Seba, Morgan, captain. I just want to call him the captain every time I see him. Chad Martin, in a rare start for him, which is being brought about by, why has Past Kev got him in the team? Let's try and read Past Kev's mind. Where are our normal defenders? Vinicius has been dropped, apparently. Padilla's tired. I'm not quite sure why I've given Martin the nod over Vinicius, but I mean, Martin is not a terrible player, so let's try it. I guess maybe Vinicius had a really bad game against Carolina. Vakalenko's in at right back, and then Salazar and Angel in midfield. Henao and Stackhouse out wide. Not ideal to have Henao out wide, and we're missing both of our wide threats, actually. And then Almoral and Takada up front. You can see there's a lot of players who are tired coming off the back of the Carolina game that didn't go very well either. Aguilar's injured. Kevin Johnson is going to be out for a little while. He's got 3 weeks out with a broken arm. McJanet is injured as well. Garcia not really fit, and we might have a potential problem with Emmanuel Garcia. His parent club are getting a little bit hissy that we're not playing him on the right of midfield rather than the right wing. So there's a potential for him to be recalled at some point, which we'll try and avoid. We could actually potentially be trying to sign him permanently within a couple of months, and that might make them less grumpy about what position we play him in. Although looking at that, it's going to be a Johnson situation again, like we had last year, where it's very unlikely we're going to be able to offer him a contract until the end of the season when money sorts itself out and we know what league we're going to end up being in. But let's not worry about money and all sorts of uncouth things like that today. Let's focus in on winning a football match, sporting Kansas City Academy. Not sure where they are in the league. Let's have a little look. Kansas are well down the league. They're in 22nd place. Only 9 points on the board for the season so far. So this should be a route back to winning ways for us. But the defeat against Carolina, certainly for me, was pretty demoralising. We just didn't look like we were in with much of a chance at all. Playing without Johnson is a challenge. We didn't look like scoring a goal. And yeah, it looks like that's going to continue today because Kansas have just scored an absolute screamer. There's the multi-story car park for ambulances next to the ground as well, that's a little bit of a throwback to when we were playing deep down in the lower leagues. I haven't seen this particular ground set up for a little while, but it's good to see that Kansas is one of many cities that has a big ambulance car park next to it with no ambulances in it, which, I mean, it's a little bit alarming. I hope there's not an active current emergency going on that's leading to most of the ambulances not being in the ambulance car park. Looks like we've got a fire station behind here as well with no one in attendance. It's all a little concerning that all the emergency services seem to be out. Stackhouse on the right-hand side. I mean, he's been fouled there. He has been fouled there. Easy penalty decision. It's one of those where he's just been kicked and you see him bob up in the air. The animation's a little bit weird, but that always means penalty. And Takada with the chance from the spot, and he does grab the equaliser, rushing over to celebrate in front of all of those fans. Is there anybody in attendance at this football match? Because there's nowhere for them to be behind the other goal or in that stand. There's nobody on that terrace. It feels like there might not be anybody here. I am getting more and more alarmed about what the situation might be in Kansas. The emergency services are all out and about on call. There's nobody in attendance at the football match, not even a steward hovering around on there. The lights are all off in these buildings. There's nobody in there. What has gone on? Have the zombies come? I need to try and see this stand on this side. Right, we need to go to, I think it's data analyst view. There's nobody here. There is nobody at all in this ground. There's no one on this terrace. Now, if we're given an attendance after this, there is some proper dodgy business going on because there is nobody here today. There is no cars anywhere in any of these car parks. Not a car to be found, not a person to be found. Takada's just scored while we're watching from the blimp. Yeah, I mean, there's nobody here, no cars here, and a blimp above the ground. It's all very odd. We get a replay now, so it doesn't matter that we were watching from the blimp before. We can switch back to, is it TV view we normally use? Takada with a nice little finish there to make it 2-1. And I need to check in on the attendance after this game because I am going to be reporting Kansas for financial irregularities if they claim that there was anybody here when there clearly isn't. That being said, is that a person or is that a bin? I think it's a bollard, actually. It's neither. I thought for a second that might be a person, but it's not. There's no people here. Those chairs are facing the wrong way. And Kansas have got an equaliser. It's 2-2. What's this little room here? I'm fascinated by this stadium. I think that's supposed to be the turnstile, but it's got one closed door on the back of it. That might be why no fans have made it in. Weirdly, though, with nobody here, the burger van's open. They've not even opened the door on the back of the turnstile, but the burger van next to it is open with the lights on. Who does he think he's selling burgers to? I give up sometimes. Right, demand more. We should be beating this lot. We are falling behind. DC United will be 5 points clear of us if we let this nonsense happen. We're going to take off Angel. Cox can come on in midfield. Takada is shattered. Everyone's just tired. This is the problem. Everyone is broken. We've played too much football without enough rotation, and we've broken everybody. We need to just try and take off all of the tired players. We're going to go attacking, which isn't going to help with the whole trying to regain some energy because playing attacking is going to wear down their energy quicker than playing on positive would. Carolina, I just noticed, have just gone ahead in their game as well. So that gap between us and the top three is going to continue growing if we don't grab a late goal here. 10 minutes to go. None of our usual goal threats are on the pitch. We've got a front four at the moment of Stackhouse, Henao, Wright and Almiral. that is 4 players who would not normally be on the pitch. So it is very much a second string Bourne side, certainly in the attack. And it shows because we're going to lose against Kansas. We need to be fitter. Fitness is causing us a problem. I mean, I'm not going to start doing training myself. I know that's going to be one of the things that a lot of you suggest. Never going to do that. I don't want to buy a tracksuit. But I do wonder if the time might have come to sack the assistant manager and bring in someone else who might be able to run training a little bit better, because for us to be this tired when apparently our opponents aren't does suggest there's something going wrong on the training ground. We've only been full-time for, is it 2 years? Maybe we're just we've not quite figured out how to do it yet, because look at the state of us. Even the ones who've managed to get out there and play today are now shattered by the end. And it's another defeat. That's 2 defeats on the bounce in the league. I'm hoping for a cup run this year, but now we've got to go and play lower league opposition off the back of 2 demoralising defeats. We're either going to play the reserves and lose, but at least be fit enough for the next game. Morgan's going to be suspended now. Or we're going to play the first team, maybe scrape a win, but then be shattered again for the game we've got coming up the following weekend. We're in a no-win situation somehow. Well, with Captain Morgan suspended, Vinicius finds his way back in the team, regardless of what he did to justify being dropped in the first place. We still have tired players knocking around the place. Seba is one of them, so Campos comes back in for him. I'm toying, actually, with I think I'll take out Takada for Stackhouse, swap those 2 around like that, and just... We're playing against a team from a much lower level. Let's try and get some fitness back. So we'll play the players that are fit, and then hopefully there'll come a time where the 3 or 4 that are injured, the couple that are suspended, another 2 or 3 that are too tired to play, hopefully can all come back into the team at the same time and get us back to winning ways, because we were in very, very good form and we're a good side with our first 11. But the problem we've got is, and it's been a problem throughout this save, it's been the story of the save so far, we can only really afford a first 11 and 2 or 3 equivalent level backups. We've got like a squad of 14, and as soon as you start picking up any kind of injuries or suspensions, it starts to become really problematic. And it's hit us over these last couple of games, but hopefully we can have a confidence builder here. Garcia with the cross to Almoral, and he nods it home to make it 1-0. If we can knock a few goals past this lot, I mean, they're down in like tier 7, tier 8. I can't remember exactly. They're below the National League. So you've got National League, Premier, National 1, National 2. So this is at least tier 8, if not the one below that. We should absolutely smash them today if we're not too broken over what's happened over the last couple of games. But it looks like we're doing okay so far. Vinicius playing forward to Henao, who, of course, not even close to being a winger, to the point where I'm actually tempted, and probably should have done this in the last game, to just play him here. Rather than playing him, just do the asymmetric system, rather than playing him out of position. We know what Football Manager's like. It has this whole, oh, he's playing slightly further forward in a role he's not very comfortable with. Let's make him rubbish and make the whole team look rubbish. Whereas dropping him back like that into what is effectively the same position, he'll probably play better. The team will play better because you've not got a man out of position anymore. Football Manager's frustrating. And there you go. It would be beneficial to play William Henao in a more familiar position. Well, I've done it. Literally done that already. That's been done. I wonder what happens if you just click do it on there. Does it just make that change for me? Oh, doorbell. Quick parcel delivery. My cushion's upside down on my chair now. Oh, it's all gone wrong. Right, where were we? We're still 2-0 up. Lovely stuff. Oh, it's hot in here. So hot in here. If you watch the home series as well, you'll know we're having issues with there being, I think it was in the home series I talked about that. I'm having to work with my window shut, which is, oh, it's hot. But there's work being done across the road. I guess you'd rather have a sweaty Kev than noisy background. What has just happened? How does... This is a tier 8 team. We've got a player who's just done that to us. A tier 4 team. What is Walker doing here? Let's just have a little look from the other angle and try and work out how our goalkeeper doesn't save this. I mean, it's not okay, is it? I'm still being told to play Henao in a more familiar position, even though he's now playing on the left of midfield, which I'm pretty sure is a familiar position. We'll double check. I think that's a more familiar position for him. Almiral's got his hat-trick, I think. He scored the second one, didn't he? I know he definitely got the first. I think that is a hat-trick for Almiral, which is awesome. I need to check in on Henao, though. So Henao he's accomplished on the left side of midfield. So why am I still getting told that he's not playing in a familiar position? Because he is. He's playing in a position he's accomplished in. I don't understand. Right, Garcia playing it forward to Stackhouse, who charges past his marker and grabs himself a goal as well. It's now 4, and this is exactly what we needed today. We needed to score a big old bunch of goals, get some confidence back into us. We don't need to see all the replays of today, but a big pile of goals, lots of confidence, and then hopefully we go back into a little bit of a run of form again in the league. Vinicius with the header that just pops off the top of the crossbar as it heads goalwards, and it looks like it's going to be 4-1 as we head towards half-time. Half-time team talk. We're happy. Keep doing what you're doing. Gentlemen, who have we got down on the bench that we could maybe bring on to just give a little bit of a run out to? Maybe Salazar would be an idea to just give some game time to. He hasn't played a lot of football. Vinicius has just scored. Hooray! There's certainly no point in bringing Takada or Seba on today as they're not fully fit. But Cox is looking for more football. Parmenta and Martinez, both of them struggling to get in the side with Vakulenko having arrived. So probably give Vakulenko a little bit of a rest. We could even take Garcia off, who's just recovering from being... In fact, what we could do... We're just going to do that just for the rest. I don't know if that'll make enough of a difference for the rest of this match, but we're 5-1 up. So let's play him on the right-hand side of midfield for a few minutes in the hope that that stops his parent club from recalling him, because I'm never playing him on the right-hand side of midfield. We'll bring Salazar on in midfield. We're just going to play him on that left-hand side. That will do for now. We don't need to mess around too much. If someone gets tired, they can come off. There you go. Garcia can come off for Cox. We're now playing with 4 central midfielders. And we'll take off Wright and bring on Parmenta, who can play on that right-hand side. We know he can play on the right wing. We're going to drop a little bit of praise as well, just to let them know that we're happy with how things have turned out today. We've come and grabbed a sack of goals. Hopefully the injured and suspended players will be back ready for our next game. We've got a week before our next league game now, unless we get the next round of this cup slotted in and in the way. That's important as well. This is a cup game. We just made some money too. Money is always handy. There's your confirmation of money. And hopefully that solved our little crisis that we were in. We've got the second round then. If that's super interesting, we'll come back for the second round in the next episode. Otherwise, we'll probably play that one off camera. And I'm looking at Charlotte as the next episode. And if we can get a third round of the Open Cup, if we get there around about the time of the Charlotte game, that feels like an episode to me. And hopefully we'll be back in the top 3 again before that happens. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.